this whole process, I'm continuously inspired by someone to be able to sing a song like that constantly when human nature, at least I know how I would respond to, how come all these people experience miracles and healing and not my brother? So I hear a song like that and it inspires me. But talk about Constantly, a song that you wrote.
Yeah.
And it's piano, which is not your strong set.
Right.
So you had an idea. Where did it start from?
So when we had kind of almost had to move to Florida for some weeks after Jay had become a double amputee. And so he's in the hospital recovering. He finally is discharged and goes back to the house. And we get him settled there. And then it felt like he and his family need to figure this out now. And so we went back home. We hadn't even thought of like how emotionally spent we were. And I'm just processing the whole thing. And I sat down at the piano and it just like, that just like came out. So everything but the bridge, right? And it just came out. And I had just sort of resolved that like it wouldn't have a bridge. And I really didn't show it to anybody because I was just like, I just felt like I was processing it, you know? And so fast forward to then Jay goes to heaven and, you know, I found the little voice memo of this song and was like, man, I need to show this to somebody. And so I had showed Bernie Herms the song Have Your Way. And then I'm like, I have one more that I want you to listen to. And so when I brought it in, the most humiliating thing, me trying to play in front of Bernie Herms like the maestro, you know, and he's so patient and so kind. But then I'm like, how do you hear this then? And so he plays this. And as he plays through the song, I sing it and just in the room we're together and it comes to the end of the second verse and he kind of goes to this new place actually and literally just sang the bridge out. I just sang it. It was like there was no bridge and then now there's a bridge, you know? And it really just felt like I don't know, man. It just felt like a really special, you know, we both looked at each other like, man, that just happened, dude, you know? And then we sang down the demo of that. And we actually, on the record, we end up keeping like the demo vocal, you know, because it was just so real or whatever, you know? And yeah.
What a metaphor where there wasn't a bridge, then there was a bridge.
Yeah.
For you.
Completely, man. Yeah. That's exactly where it was too, you know? I mean, it literally just came out, you know, and there was just something kind of magical about those moments, you know.
All teasing aside, and we've had fun here together. Mm-hmm. Who told you could sing, and you finally believed them, and you can't say mom and dad?
You know, I think it was like our church, this little church I grew up in, you know, a little Methodist congregation. They're always up against the 300 barrier. That's what it was like, you know, at its greatest, it would be, you know, 300 people or something. But I enjoyed the small setting there, you know, and I think it afforded for me and Jay just to grow in, you know, learning how to play music and being around church. That environment was like everything to us, you know.
When you hear a song like Constantly, are you taken back to that season of time where, man, I know what I was feeling when I sang this?
Yeah, 100%. And it was that moment in the ambulance when we're having to take Jay to the hospital. Like, you know, it was an emergency, you know, and he's in so much pain and I don't know what to do. But finding God in that moment, that even though I got no other answers, that he's like literally carrying us along is what it felt like, you know. And to this terrible thing. And then you ask, there's a thing that makes you want to ask, well, God, you're right here. There's no doubt about it. Just put your hand on him. Like, I know you do that, and that's not what happened. But it was undoubtedly, undeniably, his presence was so real. And from that moment until, some of the darkest moments ever for me, man, the Lord has just been there, and I don't know why he doesn't just take that moment and just fix everything. I don't get it. It's above my pay grade. He's got this thing figured out, and I obviously don't have it figured out so much, but I do not doubt in any way that he's been right here with me, because it's overwhelmingly so, man. The reality of his nearness in my sorrow, in my brokenness, in my questions, in, and pointing to a day that's coming that everything's going to be made right, that's not today, right? There's a lot of bad stuff going on everywhere, a lot of crazy stuff going on everywhere that doesn't make sense. But still, if you listen, he's there in the stillness with you. If you can get still long enough and wait on him, man, you'll find him there,
Mike, when someone gets the physical CD and they see that song constantly on the song titles, what are you hoping a listener takes from that song?
And he's got you. When you feel like you're all alone in it, he's still got you. He's still holding you. He's not giving up on you, even beyond past when you've given up on you. He's got you, and he doesn't give us the answer to everything, but he's undeniably available. And there's a peace in knowing that he's got you and that you don't have to figure it all out, that is indescribable to me. And I'm so grateful for the reality of not just the idea of God, but the person of God,
The song is called Constantly, Mike Weaver from Big Daddy Weave.